The first day Favour and Danielle walked side by side into their new school. Whispers followed them like shadows. Some students admired them, others sneered. The idea of a street girl sitting next to a billionaire's daughter was an oddity the city had never seen. But Favour didn't shrink. She sat upright, her eyes burning with determination. Danielle, now radiant with restored joy, leaned close and whispered, "Ignore them. We're rewriting history, remember." Their teacher, a kind woman with silver-rimmed glasses, paused as she looked at Favour's tattered shoes. She smiled softly and said, "Welcome, girls. I believe you'll do great things here." And so, their new journey began. Not on the streets, not in secrecy, but in the open where the world could finally see. Not everyone celebrated their rise. Among the students, jealousy simmered. A boy named Kelvin, son of a politician, mocked Favour openly. "Imagine sitting with a beggar," he sneered one afternoon. "Danielle, you've fallen so low. What will you eat next? Crumbs from the gutter?" Favour clenched her fists, but Danielle spoke first. "You'll never understand, Kelvin. It's better to eat crumbs with a true friend than feast with fake ones." The class gasped. Favour smiled faintly, but deep down she worried. Danielle's courage would earn her enemies powerful enough to strike where it hurt most. Mr. Williams' promise to help Favour and the street children had transformed lives, but it had also cost him dearly. Business partners whispered about his softness. Investors doubted his decisions. One night, as he sat in his dim study, an old rival came calling. Chief Okoro, a man as ruthless as the city itself. "You're losing your grip, Williams," he said coldly. "A billionaire bending to a street girl. Pathetic. If you don't cut this nonsense, your empire will crumble." Mr. Williams stayed silent, but fear crept into his heart. Could kindness truly destroy everything he had built? Weeks later, during a school outing, disaster struck. Danielle and Favour were walking home when a black SUV screeched to a halt. Masked men jumped out, grabbing Favour before she could scream. "Favour!" Danielle cried, but one of the men shoved her to the ground. Within seconds, the vehicle sped away. News spread quickly. The street girl turned student, kidnapped in broad daylight. Mr. Williams received a chilling phone call that evening. Chief Okoro's voice slithered through the receiver. "I warned you. The girl is leverage. Choose your empire or her life." Danielle wept in her room, clutching the pen Favour had given her. "Please don't let her die." Favour awoke in a damp warehouse, her wrists tied, her face bruised. Chief Okoro stood over her, his smile cruel. "You think you're special. You're just a street rat who got too close to the sun. I'll make your precious billionaire regret ever knowing you." But Favour, even in chains, lifted her head proudly. "You can hurt me, but you can't erase me. Danielle will never forget who I am." Her words enraged him. He raised his hand but paused, because even in fear her courage shook him. At the mansion, Danielle stormed into her father's study. "Do something," she cried. "If you let them kill her, you'll lose me forever." Mr. Williams buried his face in his hands. "Danielle, if I fight them I risk everything. My business, our safety." Danielle's voice rose. "What is an empire worth if it costs you your soul? You saved me, Daddy. Now you must save her." Her words pierced him deeper than any rival's threats. For the first time, Mr. Williams realized his choice wasn't between wealth and loss. It was between pride and humanity. That night, Mr. Williams called in loyal men he trusted. Not businessmen, but old friends who remembered his humble beginnings. "We move at dawn," he said firmly. "Not for pride, not for empire, but for my daughter, and for the girl who taught us all what hope means." Danielle insisted on coming. Though her father refused, she secretly followed, determined to be there when Favour needed her most. The warehouse erupted in chaos at sunrise. Mr. Williams' men stormed the compound, exchanging blows with Okoro's guards. Inside, Favour struggled against her bonds as Chief Okoro raised a gun. "Your fairy tale ends here," he snarled. But before he could pull the trigger, Danielle burst through the door. "Stop!" she screamed. She threw herself between Favour and the gun. The shot rang out. Favour's scream echoed as Danielle collapsed, blood staining her dress. Time seemed to stop. Mr. Williams rushed in, tackling Okoro to the ground. His men secured the warehouse, but all Favour saw was Danielle's pale face. "No, no, stay with me." Favour sobbed, cradling her. "You can't leave me. You promised you'd always find me." Danielle's lips trembled. "And I did, even here. Don't cry. You gave me life when I was dying inside. If I die now, I die free." Her eyes fluttered closed. Favour screamed until her voice broke. Danielle was rushed to the hospital. Hours bled into days. Favour never left her side, even when nurses tried to push her away. On the third night, as Favour prayed by the bed, Danielle stirred. Her fingers twitched, her eyes opened faintly. "You thought you'd lose me," she whispered weakly. "Not yet. I still owe you forever." Favour wept with joy, gripping her hand. "Don't you ever scare me like that again." Chief Okoro was arrested. His empire dismantled. The city watched in shock as Mr. Williams himself testified against him, declaring, "No child deserves to be broken because of pride." Favour became a symbol, not of pity but of possibility. Newspapers carried her story. Street girl who changed a billionaire's heart. And Danielle, though scarred, walked taller than ever. Together, the two became inseparable not just as friends, but as sisters chosen by destiny. Years later, at a university graduation ceremony, Danielle and Favour stood side by side in their gowns. The crowd roared as their names were called. Mr. Williams, now gray-haired but humbled, wiped tears from his eyes. Mrs. Williams smiled proudly, clutching her husband's hand. As they embraced, Danielle whispered, "We did it, Favour." Favour replied, her eyes shining, "No, we're still doing it." They looked up at the same sky that once divided them. Now, it bore witness to a truth the world could never erase. When Favour met Danielle, nothing could ever be the same. And so, dear listeners, this is where our journey ends. From the streets to the mansion, from despair to hope, Favour and Danielle showed us that friendship can rewrite destiny, even when the world tries to tear it apart. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Gracious Voice for more powerful tales that stay with you long after the last word is spoken. Until next time, remember, hope can rise from anywhere. Fire the end.